Danny Flexen for Seconds Out, here with Grant Smith at the Steel City Gym in Sheffield. Grant, you've been running... You're a popular man. You've been running this gym for a long time, obviously, with the amateur setup here as well, Steel City ABC. How's it been for you in the last couple of years when you've been getting more and more kind of fame and interest based on working with the Edwards brothers and so on as a pro coach? How has that affected your kind of day-to-day working?
The day-to-day working, obviously, Danny, I've had to finish my daytime job. I were setting off in the morning, training the amateurs, training the odd pros, straight to work, finishing work, straight to the gym. Then away at weekends with nationals, because obviously got a good successful amateur team. So when they're doing well in the nationals, and then you've got your schoolboys, your juniors, your youths, your elites, then obviously when one tournament finishes, one's starting, and it's just constant like that. So it's been a really busy, hectic few years.
What about the interest from the media and so on? Because I'm guessing when you were mainly concentrating on the amateurs, you might have got attention from, say, Boxing News' amateur section and some of the other outlets, local news as well. But now it's kind of exploded a bit, and you're getting pushed in front of a camera. I know we've done the same, so we can't really be high and mighty about it. But you're getting to do a lot more of these interviews. How have you found that kind of adjustment rather than just focusing on what's going on in the gym?
I just try to take it natural. We don't change anything, we are what we are, and like you said before, it were the paper clippings and the interviews through the newspaper and the media like that. Now obviously it's gone a bit ballistic at the minute, I'll be truthful. You've just seen me doing my diary. It's just like, it's hectic, so we invite anybody who gets in touch, we don't turn anybody away. They can just come, interview my fighters, and just get some publicity for fighters in the gym, really. I'm not too interested in it myself, but for myself, I'm just in it for my fighters, so whatever suits my fighters.
And just tell us how it's all come about that you've now got a gym with 5 pro fighters. You've got one, obviously, Charlie Edwards, who's a world champion, Sonny Edwards doing very well, Carl Youssef, English champion. You've had Christian Kinsonia Central Area champion. Not many to discredit area titles. I just didn't want to go through the whole list, but you've had kind of amateur national champions, so many over the years that you've lost count. How's that? How did you go from being a mainly amateur-focused coach to taking on this burgeoning or thriving pro stable?
It's just come through process. I just have a process with my schoolboys, juniors, youths, elites, with the amateurs coming through. So obviously I had Scott Jenkins as a professional, then I had to have my licensing when AIBA changed the rules and stuff like that, so I had to give the pro licence back, just stuck with my amateurs, and then Sonny Edwards turned over. Obviously I had to go out to Marbella because I had to lose my licence, obviously my pro licence, and then we kept in touch, and then he's like, oh, it's changing. He says, yeah. He went, right, I'm on the plane coming back, we're back there. So really, as it's come through, this Charlie used to done a bit with me before, he's come on board, but the others, they've just come through the amateur system like that. It's got like unbeaten Levi Kinsione, who won 2 novice national titles. He's 3-0 at minute, fighting in March, and he's just come through the ranks, and my fighters just come through the ranks in the amateurs, and they just work the system like that.
When you started working with Sonny again, when you were able to get your pro licence back after AIBA changed the rules, did you envisage then that you might end up working with his brother Charlie as well, or did that seem not on the table at all at that point?
Not at the time. Like you said, I'd known Charlie a while, and he did come to me, and he says, when he come to have a look last time, and I couldn't really give him the commitment because it were a lot of pressure with what I was doing with the amateurs, because they were at a good level, my amateurs, which they still are, and we're working full time. I'm not in it for the names and the fame and the money, and bear in mind there's not much money in the pro game for the trainers. If I can't give somebody 110%, I don't want to train them, because at the end of the day it's not fair on them. It's their careers on the line, the futures, and I don't want to begin no less than 100%, 110%. If it's any less, it's not fair on the fighter. I believe you've got to give them 110% commitment and dedication.
So is that what led you to pack in the day job? Because you were quite a successful kitchen fitter, am I right?
Yeah. Working 6 days a week, and the stress levels, and with the amateurs, because the amateurs were at a good level, and trying to keep up with work, quoting, trying to stay on top of everything, my body was just taking a battering mentally and physically. It was just too hard, and it was too stressful, and it was coming to a stage where, right, do I start with the pros, just downgrade my amateurs a little bit, just keep it a really, really little squad, and then the kids who are coming through, they'll move on and somebody will get them, and I'm like, what do I do? Or do I finish work and not earn no money? So, but I'll give my partner Lindsay a due. She was like, Grant, if you want to do it, just give it a go and we'll see how it goes. I don't want you to regret anything. And I thought, my missus Lindsay is a diamond. I couldn't do this without all my family, my missus, but she does have to put up with a lot, Lindsay. And she says, Grant, if that's what you want to do, let's go with it. And we've gone with it, and up touch wood, everything tonight has been running beautiful. I couldn't ask for no better.
Although you're not in it for personal glory, did it give you a certain amount of satisfaction when Charlie became your first professional world champion?
I don't think many coaches can say they've trained a WC world champion, and I knew what were on the line for Charlie mentally. And I've always said this, you can ask any of my lads in the gym. I've always wanted to be a coach with a fighter in a big fight, not necessarily a world title, but a big fight, a big TV fight as an underdog. And I wanted it, so I knew my fighter was in there with a very good chance of winning this fight. I says, but the general public didn't give much chance, and I always wanted that. The boxing people know what they're talking about, and not many of the boxing people give us a chance. I believed in Charlie, and I thought, this is my dream come true, This is just what I've always wanted in my training career. And I explained it to Charlie, and I said, you will beat this kid. You will beat this kid. We're not biting someone off just to take it for the sake of a world title. You're going to win a world title. And so that's why it meant so much to me as well. I know how much it meant to Charlie and how much pressure on his shoulders, but to me, that was my dream in training. That what I've always wanted to be in that situation.
And Charlie was obviously had a spell with Adam Booth before he came up here with you, and there were a few whispers in the build-up to the fight saying, well, why has he left Adam Booth? You know, he's gone with a trainer who's unproven in the professional ranks, obviously very good with the amateurs. Did any of that get to you, or did you hear any of that before the fight? And did that add to your satisfaction that you kind of proved some people wrong?
No, I didn't really hear any of that. Obviously, I heard on reports that he used to be with Adam Booth, and Adam's a very good trainer, very good trainer. I don't think anybody can say he's not. But when Charlie come, he come for certain reasons. And I didn't feel under no pressure whatsoever, no. I knew what Charlie, it's not about me, it's about the fighter. I'm not one of these coaches, it's about the coach. It's about Charlie, and at the end of the day, I knew Charlie could do it, so I felt under no pressure whatsoever. Obviously, I'm feeling under pressure because I want him to win, and I've got to get the game plan right, and as his training gone, everything gone to plan, which in night, it all fell into place, and it did, yeah.
I suppose it kind of proves that it's not so much being a big name trainer, it's about having the right trainer and the right gym environment for the right fighter. Would you go along with that?
The trainer and the boxer, obviously, you've got to gel, and there's got to be 100% trust either way. And I'm not one of these coaches where I say, right, this, excuse me, this is what's happening, I want you to do this is what we're doing, this is what we're doing. I come up with little tactics and plans, and then no matter which fighter it is, I'll say, how do you feel about this? How do you feel about this? Is this shot working? What do you want to come off this situation? And I let the boxer feel naturally happy with it as well. So it's a two-way system where you have to gel together like that.
What's the atmosphere like in the gym? Obviously, we've got a bit of a picture of it today, but you're here every day with the lads. Is it kind of everyone friends together, having a bit of a laugh? Is it more strict, like a more schoolish environment? How would you describe it?
Every coach says the gym's tight and the squad's tight. I've got 22 fighters. This gym is very tight. They go out socialising together. They have a laugh. We have, excuse me, there's that much banter in here at night on squad nights, and when the fighters are in on their own, they rip the hell out of each other. And there's no arguing, they spar hard. As soon as the bell's gone, best of friends. This gym is very tight. I don't have individuals with attitudes in here. I won't have a bad egg. I just won't have it. The lads all understand. They all get on. They share a little changing room together, and we keep it all complete like that.
Going back to Charlie for a minute, what were the kind of little tweaks and adjustments you looked to make when he first came here, leading up to obviously the world title win in December?
Well, anybody can pull anybody down and see little changes. Every coach likes their own little ways and tweaks, but the main thing with Charlie were just to slow him down a little bit. I felt he were wasting a lot of power. He were letting his shots off fast, and I don't think he were getting, how can I put this? Yeah, respect off his opponents through the power. So I thought, right, we'll slow him down a little bit. Let's just take a bit of sting off the shots and put a bit more power on it, and slowed his front foot down a little bit, and said, like, you'll see some shots coming back a little bit easier, so you won't get hit as much. And it just, yeah, he took to it, yeah, and he adapted to that. And then he saw the benefits as well when it were coming off in sparring and stuff like that.
And going forward, what other adjustments might you make, and how good can he become?
He's a world champion, and there's a lot more to come from Charlie. He's 25-year-old. He's a young 25. He's not an old 25-year-old. And like I've told him, he's not going to be in his prime till another 2 years, 3 years, and then he'll be in his prime. He'll be a proper man then. And he's got so much more to get better. So much more. Strength, power, boxing brain. He's got a lot of it now, but all that'll come. He's got another 20-25% to go yet.
What would you like to see him do for the rest of this year, for 2019? I know there's a voluntary defence going to be announced relatively soon, possibly a rematch with Rosales in the summer. How would you like to see the year round off? Is that kind of fit in with your plans as well?
Yeah, that's fine. He's got good management behind him, MTK. He's got the best promoter in the world, Eddie Hearn. So whatever they say, we'll have a few chats, excuse me, to see what goes through. I'd like the voluntary. What might be coming up, we're just looking at a few names now. Maybe the Rosales in the summer. Touchwood, everything comes off there. And then the IBF champion, the South African. Yeah, later on, say October, November for end of year. And let's get a few more titles and unify it.
And we talked about Sonny Edwards earlier. How's his injury healing up now? Is he any closer to getting back in the gym?
Yeah, he's just started back Monday actually. He started back in the gym. Not heavy, no footwork. He's just got his boxing boots on. He's just been stood in front of bags, touching some bags, eating the bags. And he says his leg feels fine. We're not going to start no running, no footwork drills, no nothing. He's just going to be stood in the gym, working on things. Sorry. So yeah. And that's what it is. So hopefully, he says his foot feels fine. So next couple of months, hopefully 2 or 3 months, we might have him back out again then, and getting him back on circuit.
And just to ask you about Carl Youssef, obviously he's here today, and we're going to be interviewing him shortly as well. He won the English title in October with an impressive victory against Conor Blackshaw. How far can he go, and how quickly will he move in this year, for example?
I got offered a very good fight for a very good title for Kyle, day before Charlie's fight actually, on the 21st December. Kyle weren't in gym, he'd been out at gym away, he decided to go on holiday, so that cost him a little bit. Yeah, so I just won another fight. He's out on 30th of March. We haven't got no opponent yet, so we're just looking for an opponent and that, going through some opponents, and then straight after that, I want to keep him in title contention and keep him rolling fast.
Who are the kind of main champions at his weight, or who would you like to target? Maybe not champions, maybe big names at his weight that you think would be good fights for him?
There's one guy, Charlie Edwards.
I can see a reason why that fight might not happen though.
Double pay.
If you can clone yourself, yeah.
I don't chase anybody for my fighters. We just let the promoters. He's got a good promoter and management team in Steffi Bull and stuff like that. So Steffi knows what he's doing. We just leave that to Steffi, and we just know he wants to roll forward. Leave it into Steffi. Steffi will fetch his names, and we'll say yes or no. So yeah, if the titles are there, we're going to box, obviously.
And just before we let you go, if you could sum it up in a couple of sentences, what makes this gym so special? How are you able to produce so many successes, both amateur and pro?
My boxers. I'm gifted with good boxers.
That's a very good trainer's response. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Brilliant. All right. Well, we appreciate your time, and good luck with the rest of 2019.
Thank you for coming across, Danny.
Cheers.
Thank you.